Lawrenceville is now 33-0. They move to the title game. Herscher is now 29-3. They will play in the consolation.
Coach Ron Felling of the Lawrenceville Indians. Again, congratulations. A great run, but this is the big one.
It certainly is. This is what we're playing for. It seems kind of, I don't really know how to put it. After 33 games and won all of them, you're still not out of the fire. You know, it's a long season, and we're just glad to be here, and anything after this is going to be gravy on.
Ron, I've got to ask you about the game this afternoon in overtime. You were very concerned about Herscher, and with good reason.
Well, there's no doubt. Scott Mintz is a fine player, and Coach Ed Sennett had his kids ready to play. They are a far better team than they showed in the opening round game. They really dictated the terms of the play, and I really thought that they possibly outplayed us. You got to have a lot of luck to win, and we had some, and our kids certainly didn't quit even by being down, and that tests their mettle, and it's going to take a good team to beat us because we're not going to beat ourselves.
Ron, what would you tell the kids in the last-minute instructions? Just a couple of brief tips.
Well, they worked too hard to get here, not to play up to their expectations. There's nothing you can say is going to get a schoolboy up for the state championship. They're already hyped. You can be possibly too hyped. I say just come out and pay attention to detail and a lot of mental discipline. Just control your own destiny, and I said I think that we'll be successful.
Were you able to relax your kids a little bit between games today?
Well, you know, our kids, we took them back and got them off their feet and fed them. We didn't take them out to eat. We brought the food to them. So we had a little more rest. I don't think that's a factor. With 16, 17-year-old kids, it's not going to take that much. We played 2 games in the same day twice this year, and I'm sure that Monmouth has. So 17, 18-year-old kids, they're not going to be fatigued. They're going to put it all out.
Ron, you've been here before. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Ron Felling from Lawrenceville, and now Mike Mueller.
Monmouth High School with a record of 31 wins, only 2 losses. The head coach of the Zippers, Mike Mueller. Number 12, Jeff Johnson. Number 22, Jeff Romano. Number 30, John Kinney. Number 32, Mark Lovedahl. Number 34, Jamie Paul. Number 40, Mike Murphy. Number 42, Tony DeFord. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Zippers of Monmouth. At forward, a senior, 6'1", number 24, Mark McCurdy.
An all-around athlete and student, Mark McCurdy.
At forward, a senior, 6 feet 5 inches tall, number 44, Mike Miller.
A force around the basket, averaging 19 a game.
Starting at center for the Zippers, a senior, 6 feet 4, number 50, Jerome Burdich.
Averaging 14 points a game.
At guard, a senior, 6 feet tall, number 10, Fred Hayes.
Super quick Fred Hayes on the defense and offense.
And at guard for Monmouth, a senior, 6'1", number 14, Mel Blasey.
A super game in the semifinals. Mel Blasey, the other starting guard. Those are the Monmouth Zippers, and now the cheerleaders from Monmouth give a salute to the crowd, and they are ready to play. It's the maroon and gold of Monmouth, and now we'll meet Lawrenceville's Indians coming right up next. There's the Monmouth young ladies.
High School with a perfect record, 33 wins, no losses. The head coach of the Indians, Ron Felling. Number 10, Jay Baker. Number 15, Bill Anthony. Number 24, Brian Cochran. Number 35, Darren Blair. Number 44, Brian Need. Number 52, Keith Frohock. Number 54, Dave Parker. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Lawrenceville Indians. At forward, a junior, 6'3", number 32, Tim Leasty.
One of the better defensive players around, averaging 8 a game.
At forward, a senior, 6 feet 4 inches tall, number 42, Doug Knopsack.
74 points scored from the super sectional till now.
Starting at center for the Indians, a junior, 6 feet 4.5 inches tall, number 50, Marty Simmons.
Averaging 26 a game, awesome strength.
At a guard, a junior, 6 feet tall, number 14, Jeff Gear.
Gear shoots 48% from the field.
And at guard for Lawrenceville, a junior, 6 feet tall, number 30, Ernie Ho.
A strong performer in the backcourt, Ernie Ho. The Lawrenceville Indians of Coach Ron Felling. An emotional scene setting on both ends of the court as the Lawrenceville cheerleaders are on the court.
I have a feeling Lawrenceville is really ready.
And there's Roger Quinlan of Thomasboro on the left, John Sullivan of Normal on the right. They are the officials for this championship game. And you can feel something special in the air. The crowd. I think Lawrenceville might feel they got a reprieve this afternoon.
I think they have every right to feel that way too, Frank.
Herscher won the third place game. They beat a fine Havana team. And now Lawrenceville in the white, trimmed in red. Monmouth in the maroon, trimmed in gold. Monmouth of the Olympic Conference. Lawrenceville of the North Egypt Conference. And we are set for what should be an absolutely superb title go. Lawrenceville starts with the ball. On the move, Ernie Ho goes to the left. Look at Monmouth, man-to-man. Inside, Novsek, turnaround. Foul already.
Foul was on number 10, Fred Hayes.
The first against Monmouth.
So Lawrenceville triggers from out of bounds. That's Ernie Ho. Now Novsek deep in the corner. Bouncing no. Jerome Burdett on the glass. Now Monmouth with the ball. Let's see what the defense looks like for the Indians.
Man-to-man defense for Lawrenceville, likewise.
Little surprise to me. Okay, so we start both ways, man-to-man. McCurdy clears out on the right to Mark Miller, 44. That's McCurdy, 24. And Miller. Miller's the big guy. There's Fred Hayes in the corner. Clearing out. Good passing. Here's a stop and shoot outside. Not good by Mel Blasey. And each side has had a crack and miss.
Tim Leasty is matched up against All-Stater Mike Miller. Leasty has been an underrated player in this tournament.
He's hard-nosed on the D. Simmons way outside away from the goal. Novsek now exchange inside Simmons. Turnaround right-hander. Lawrenceville on the board.
I felt early that Marty Simmons would be a key man that Monmouth would have to stop.
You indicated that when I asked you early. And here's Blasey as Monmouth tries to answer the first basket. Miller barges inside. Walking. Full court pressure now by the Zippers. Ernie Ho in the backcourt. It's a trap. Gear. Now Simmons, the big guy, is going to zoom across and slow it up. Crowd murmuring as Simmons goes all the way inside and is rejected by Burdett.
Excellent defensive play by Burdett.
Burdett came alive. Blasey ties the game. Mel Blasey. And just like that, we're even. Here's a steal by Monmouth. McCurdy to Miller. Stop and pop. Lawrenceville the other way. Nobody looks tired out here. This is for the state title. Novsek, a runner. Simmons inside. Stripped by Hayes. Monmouth the other way. On the scoop. Hayes stops and shoots. Hayes again in heavy. Got it. 4-2 Monmouth.
This time Monmouth shows a straight man-to-man press. Ernie Ho brings it up unattended now.
Ho matched with McCurdy. The 14s are Gear against Blasey. That's Leasty. They give him some room. Leasty swings across the top. Gear is in the corner. Now Novsek in traffic, turns and shoots. Got it. The game is tied at 4 as Doug Knopsick knocked it in. 5:05 to play, opening period. Lacey comes to the right. Quicksilver Fred Hayes. There's Miller on the turn. Mel Blasey goes all the way to the basket. His shot hits the under of the iron, and the Indians have it. The score is 4-4 with 4:45 to go first quarter. Marty Simmons, baseline right. Simmons has Lawrenceville in the lead by 2. All right, now Monmouth with the ball. Looking over the defense. Down low goes Miller on one side, Burdett on the other. Burdett gets the ball, kicks it back out. Double low post now, and they even shaped up in a 1-4 offensive set there for a moment.
Marty Simmons is matched up against Jerome Burdett inside.
There's Hayes. He's free for a one-hander. Hit the rim and out. Gear runs. Simmons zings the ball ahead to Knopsick. Now it's Simmons. Marty Simmons. And right now, Monmouth wants to quit it. It's Lawrenceville 8 and Monmouth 4 at the 3:57 mark. One of your network sponsors, DeKalb Ag Research. Number 1 against number 2 for the state championship.
And pressure against pressure. Full court game, Frank.
This will be a 94-footer. 8-4 Lawrenceville in the early going. 3:50 to go in the opening period. And Monmouth controls the ball with Mel Blasey in the backcourt. Blasey comes across to Hayes. The point is McCurdy. Burdett's inside. Miller comes outside for a shot. Short. Burdett got the board. Puts it in.
That's one more basket than he made all day today, but a key rebound by Jerome Burdett.
And the 2 free throws he made sent Monmouth into this game. Lawrenceville by 2 in the ball. Knopsick on the fly. Pumps it up. It's short. Look at Simmons. Missed it. Simmons again. Traveling. And Simmons went down hard.
Boy, Marty Simmons is showing just exactly what a bull he is under that basket.
Ron Felling says, take it easy, fellas. We're in good shape. It's 8-6, Lawrenceville. The press is on. This is a young man hard to press, Fred Hayes. He's so quick. Now Blasey playing at the point. Burdett comes out to a high post right. McCurdy left corner. 3 minutes on the clock. Blasey. The ball went on the floor before anybody got it, and it's Simmons. Pushes the ball up court. Gear in the corner. Ernie Ho out top. Now Leasty. Got it. Tim Leasty.
That last rebound shows what an excellent job of screening out the Lawrenceville 3-back men did. They screened their men out, let the ball bounce on the floor, and they got it.
And that gave the Indians a 4-point advantage. Hayes looks inside to Burdett. Goes up and put it through. Jerome Burdett has 2 quick hoops. 10-8 Lawrenceville. These 2 teams went through the ringer today. Both were in eye-popping games. Tight, 1 overtime, 1 a 1-pointer. They both emerged victorious. Leasty outside left. 2:13 on the clock, first quarter. Ernie Ho strong. The ball slapped away by McCurdy. Last touch off Ho. Monmouth ball. And Ron Felling is anything but happy about that.
You remember the excellent defensive plays that Martin McCurdy made toward the end of that game this afternoon. An excellent defensive performer.
On the right side, Fred Hayes looks toward the pivot. Nobody there. Miller comes out top. Down along baseline left. Ball inside. Burdett again. The game is tied. 6 points for Burdett as Mike Mueller enjoys it.
When you see Jerome Burdett operate like he is now, you know why they went to him when the game was on the line this afternoon.
We have 1:42 to go, and now we have a 10-10 game. Ho comes over to Leasty. Lob inside. Knopsick posts up and banks it home. Doug Knopsick showing he can score inside and out. He's got 4, and Lawrenceville back in head by 2. McCurdy, good ball movement by the Zippers. Inside, Burdett again. He's got it, but a whistle. Foul is on Burdett.
Credit number 30, Ernie Ho with excellent defensive help. And you'll see on the replay, Marty Simmons is burning Burdett. Look at Ho come over for this weak side support on defense. Burdett goes into him after trying to handle the pass.
And Keith talks about weak side, the side opposite the ball. Here's Ernie Ho, outside right. He's a junior at 6 feet. Simmons, also a junior, number 50. He goes 6'4½", 200. Lawrenceville, with 1 minute to go, has a 2-point lead in the opening quarter. This for the state title. Leasty in traffic. Rejected by Miller. Now Simmons. Look at Leasty on the board. Foul on Hayes, his second. Inside position for the Indians on the glass.
Okay, on the replay, we'll see Fred Hayes pick up his second foul. Excellent rebounding position by number 32, Tim Leasty.
Into the game for Monmouth, 34, Jamie Paul, a 6'2" junior. And Hayes goes out with 2 personals. Here's the ball tapped right back out of bounds. Lawrenceville ball. Gear gets it in. Novsik 2 alone. You can't give Novsik that shot. He's radar. 14-10 Lawrenceville, 6 for Novsik. Novsik with a dad that played pro football for the Oakland Raiders, a sister who's a cheerleader here. What a fine player. 30 seconds now. Jamie Paul for Monmouth. They're down by 4. They'd like to get a good high percentage shot. It would hurt Monmouth if Hayes had to miss a lot of the game with foul trouble. Outside Blasey, down to 15 seconds now. Monmouth wants 1 shot. Blasey starts on the fly to the left. He pulls up and shoots off the board. Simmons rebounds. Lawrenceville's got time, and they're on the move behind the back. Layup hole! What a pass by Simmons! And Lawrenceville explodes to a 16-10 lead at the quarter. Watch it as we go out. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance.
With 93 points. Doug Novsik, Marty Simmons, Mike Miller, Jerome Burdett all have a run at him in this ball game.
Sarnes made the all-tournament team, and we'll talk about that when we have time. Second quarter underway. Novsik on the move, comes right and shoots it in. Doug Novsik, and Lawrenceville's on the move. Novsik just pulled up and socked it in. Now it's an 8-point lead. Monmouth has had an ability to come from behind. They'll have to here. Blasey outside. Burdett slices across the lane. It goes into Miller. He was a force in the semifinal. Miller dropped the ball, but last touch by Gear.
We hear a lot about the Lawrenceville Indian offense, but as we've said and as we talked with Coach Felling, they play outstanding defense.
Fred Hayes back in for Monmouth. Hayes can shoot it from the outside, can turn it over to when he's on defense. He's quick. This is Blasey, comes to the right to Hayes. Simmons playing behind Burdett down low. Blasey sends it up. It's not good, and Lawrenceville has Ho rebounding. Here come the Indians. Novsik's close enough, pulls up and shoots. 10 for Novsik. And all of a sudden, Lawrenceville has doubled the score. Monmouth wants timeout. Indians 20, Zippers 10. One of your network sponsors is Stauffer Chemical Company. Class A title with an undefeated record. Lawrenceville is trying to change that.
You know, we had a feeling that Lawrenceville was going to come out of the gate strong, and they are sizzling.
They really are, and Monmouth needs a couple of quick hoops to slow them down. Hayes got one down, but it won't count. He was fouled first by Leasty. First foul on the Indians. Tim Leasty. Remember his brother Rick Leasty, who played on 2 state championship teams and played at the University of Illinois. Here's a high lob underneath the Miller for 2. Nice move. Mike Miller. 20-12. Lawrenceville. Here is a bad pass. Picked off now by Simmons. Lawrenceville keeps control. Simmons out to Gear. And Lawrenceville's in control with an 8-point lead. Leasty's on the right wing. Simmons goes toward the ball. And Novsik comes out to the point. They go out. Down the baseline it goes now, and Ho looks inside. Simmons comes out, 6:24, first quarter. Simmons starts to the left. Down the lane goes Leasty. Simmons steps in, puts it up and in. Marty Simmons. Simmons has 8.
Marty Simmons showing that he can be an inside or an outside threat either.
Lawrenceville again with a 10-point lead. Burdett inside, shakes loose, can't get it. Next rebound comes to Simmons. Is he ever strong inside? He wasn't too strong for Scott Mintz, but he's too strong for most players. There he comes. It's a charging foul this time. Too anxious to get to the glass.
Not very seldom you'll see a 6'4.5" man go from end to end. Pull the rebound down, tries to take it all the way. Definite charge, excellent defensive position.
All right, Monmouth with the basketball. They're down by 10, 5:48 to go, second quarter title game. Here's Blasey in the front, over to Hayes. McCurdy looks for help inside. Outlet pass, Leasty tried for, didn't get it. McCurdy tries. Another rebound for Simmons, and he's owning the glass. Poe pushes the ball up court and waits. High post is Novsik. There's Gear. Gear gives Novsik the bounce pass. Down low, Simmons. Here comes the 1-2 punch. Short. Mike Miller rebounds, and the Zippers come strong. Hayes pulls up and tries. Rebound McCurdy. Inside position. He's fouled by Novsik. A concerned Mike Mueller looking on.
Hey, Mike McCurdy, you see already has established excellent rebounding position. There he goes up, and Doug Novsik coming over the top for the 2-shot foul. You know, Frank, we talked earlier about Havana having a lot of people coming back. I think sometimes people forget that Lawrenceville starts 4 juniors, the only senior being Doug Novsik. So we may see Ron Felling back here also.
McCurdy made the first and the second free throw. 22-14, Lawrenceville's lead. Lots of time. We're in the second quarter with 5:03. Holding the ball high is Gear, and they're being more patient. Now it's a zone for Monmouth.
First time Monmouth has shown a zone this whole tournament.
And Novsik liked the looks of it, shot over it. Simmons rebound, wheels and scored. Marty Simmons with 12, 10 big points already, and a 10-point advantage for the Indians. Looking to go through the season unblemished. They're 33-0. Left side McCurdy. Burdett trying to get free inside. And a traveling violation on Monmouth, their 3rd turnover as the scoreboard shows the lead. Lawrenceville's turned the ball over 5 times, but it hasn't hurt them. Their shooting has been hot, and their board work has been excellent.
The Monmouth zone press and man-to-man press that they're alternating right now is going to have to take its effect if they're going to stay in this ball game.
Simmons doing a lot of ball handling. Gives it out to Ho. Good movement away from the ball for the Indians. Leasty free for a moment. Now Ho is outside left. He missed, and Burdett rebound. Here comes the 94-foot transition. Blasey off the glass. Rattled out. Rebound. McCurdy saved it. And it's going to be Monmouth ball. Nice defensive work down there. And good play.
And another hustling effort by Tim Leasty also.
Ball inbound to Hayes. Shakes and moves. Traveling. The 4th turnover on the Zippers. There's Ron Felling giving a few instructions. And a lob. Simmons. Look at him bring the ball up the court. Like a train. Bounce pass. Leasty steps in. Rejected by Burdett. Picked up by Hayes. 3-on-3 the other way comes Monmouth. Stutter step Hayes. Runner. Tipped up by Burdett. Another rebound by Burdett is good. 8 for Burdett. 24-16. Lawrenceville. 3.5 to play, first half. The press is broken as Gear kicks it over to Leasty. Back to Gear in the paint. Tipped by Novsik. Next one. Lawrenceville again. Leasty tracked it down. Novsik fakes and shoots. Marty Simmons rebounds. They won't give up. Simmons knocked it in. He's got 12.
Frank, at this point, Simmons is now 6 out of 10 from the field, and Novsik is 5 out of 11.
The big 2. But they have lots of support.
And Simmons has 10 rebounds at this point.
Under 3 minutes first half. Lawrenceville by 10. Blasey, a 20-footer, is short. Miller rebounds, steps in and scores. 4 points for Miller. And it's an 8-point Lawrenceville lead again. Ho comes up slowly. The tempo has been quick. Gear on the right. All right, inside it goes to Novsik. A turnaround. One-hander is good by Novsik. All right, here we go. Monmouth, 28-18 down. They have the basketball. Inside it goes. Miller, turnaround off the glass, won't go. Simmons, still another rebound. High lob up ahead. Hose beat the pack for a layup. 30-18 at the 2-minute mark.
An excellent fast break, triggered again by Marty Simmons' rebound and his fast getaway.
All right. Left side McCurdy into Burdett. He wheels around his man, tries it. Didn't get it, whistle, and a foul. Foul is on Lawrenceville.
Okay, you'll see Marty Simmons picking up his second foul. Jerome Burdett goes baseline, puts a shot up. No good, no contact on the shot, but on the rebound, Marty Simmons came over the back.
All right. Monmouth with the basketball. A 12-point deficit. The shot out of the corner, not good by Blasey. Lawrenceville answering down the court in a hurry. Leastie's along the baseline left. Whips the ball out to Simmons. Look at his shot. Rims out. Rebound comes to Jamie Paul, 34. 1:26 to go, first half. Frank Bissoni, Art Kimball, and Keith Baldwin from the Assembly Hall. There's Miller inside, intended for him, and out of bounds to Lawrenceville. Monmouth hasn't had too many things go their way lately.
No, they certainly have not. I think this time they're trying to get inside a little too much.
They have some perimeter shooters. Hayes can hit from the outside. Miller certainly can. Blasey can too. Simmons comes up the court. Gives over to Ho. Now Novsik is free. He just needs this moment. His shot goes out. Monmouth rebounds. Now 1:02. They don't stop the ball until it's a blocking foul on the Indians. Blasey on the move down the court was fouled. Gear picked it up.
Interesting replay to watch. Here comes Blasey down the floor. Looks like he might have been moving.
All right.
Looks like he might have been planted, too. In pretty good position.
Foul is on Gear. And there's a discussion now as the official comes over. It's 1:01. Called a double foul, it looks like. That's what it is. One official had one call and one had the other.
That's probably the best call there, Frank, in that situation.
And one announcer had one call and the other had the other. Now, do we have to jump now, Art?
I hope not. Boy, that's the toughest call in basketball, though, isn't it, fellas? The block or the charge.
It has been for years.
Right.
And it will be for years.
30-18, Lawrenceville over Monmouth with a minute and a second to go in the first half. Now Simmons comes back on the court. He's been on the deck a few times. Tip is controlled by Lawrenceville. What a fine-looking team they are. Hose wheels to the right to Leasty. He lobs to the goal. Simmons goes up and down and in. 14 for Simmons. And with 45 seconds, Lawrenceville feeling good at 32-18. Now can Monmouth come back? Jamie Paul. Monmouth's going to need to hit a few shots here. Get some confidence and some momentum. And they're capable. All the way in, Blasey had a left-hander go off. The other end is Leasty. Got it.
Beautiful baseball pass from Marty Simmons, who is gathering rebounds just like Scott Mintz did.
A 90-foot pass for a layup. 34-18. Inside, Mike Miller turns, puts it off the board, and he is fouled. Miller is a strong player going against strong people in there. Fouls on Leasty. Mark McCurdy back in for Monmouth for Paul. And there goes Paul out of the lineup. Mike Miller goes to the foul line. Miller's had a good tournament. He's got that one.
That's only Miller's 5th point.